Welcome back to the Dadlife podcast, a solo media podcast. I decided to dive into a unique and often challenging part of divorce. What do you do with your wedding ring? And I'll be honest, when I first took off my ring, I didn't know what to do with it. It's one of those things you don't think about until you're faced with it. On one hand, it holds so many memories and the promises that you made. On the other hand, it's a reminder of something that's ended. Today, I'm going to share some options I've thought about and talk about what might feel right for different dads out there. I also posted the question in a dad's Facebook group, and I got a ton of comments, so I'll share some of those. We all know that a wedding ring isn't just a piece of jewelry. It's a symbol of love, commitment, and vows that we believed would last forever. Every scratch and shine on that ring tells a story of what we once shared with our partner. For a lot of dads, it's a bittersweet reminder of a chapter that's now closed. Everyone's emotions about their rings are different, and that's okay. Some dads may feel sadness or even guilt when they look at it, while others feel a sense of pride for good years they shared with their ex-wife. It's normal to feel a mix of emotions like love, regret, or even relief. What's most important is giving yourself permission to feel those things and not judging yourself for it. Now, before you make any decision about your ring, my advice is to wait it out. Don't feel pressured to make a quick choice. Divorce is a huge life change, and it's tough enough without rushing into decisions you might regret. Give yourself some time to see how you feel about the ring over a few months or even a year. Sometimes that distance brings clarity. One option is simply keep the ring. Some dads decide to hold on to it, not because they want to wear it again, but because it represents an important part of their life. Maybe they want to pass it on to their kids one day, or maybe they just need time to decide. If that's you, put it somewhere safe, a jewelry box, a safe, or even a place that's meaningful to you. Just knowing it's there might give you a sense of closure without having to say goodbye to it completely. I never knew what to do with mine. It's been sitting in my safe for, almost 10 years. My oldest once told me that she wanted it, so I was just going to hold on to it. And you might be the same with your children. They might appreciate having a memento of their parents' history someday. And I've heard this from dads who've done this, and they say it felt good knowing the ring would eventually become a part of their family's legacy. It can serve as a reminder while the marriage may not have lasted. There was once love that brought the kids into the world. Some dads decide to sell or repurpose the ring. Maybe the marriage ended amicably, but they don't feel any attachment to the ring itself. We're giving you a free 30-day trial of Prime, free delivery, award-winning TV, exclusive deals, and more. Click the link in the show description for more information. Selling it can provide some financial relief, which is helpful, especially if you're adjusting to a single-income household. Alternatively, you could have the ring melted down and turned into a new piece of jewelry. This way, you're not holding on to the ring as it was, but you're giving it new meaning. Some guys turn it into a pendant or even a new ring that symbolizes their new start. Donating the ring is another option. Some charities accept jewelry donations and use the funds to support causes like helping families in need. Recycling the metal can be an option if you don't want the ring to be an item of jewelry anymore. For dads who want to find purpose from the end of their marriage, donating or recycling can feel like turning something old into something meaningful for someone else. Some dads create their own personal ritual to say goodbye to the ring. This could be something as simple as writing a letter to your former self, your ex, or even to the life you once had, and then symbolically letting go of the ring. Some people bury it, leave it in a meaningful place, or donate it with a final goodbye. These rituals can be therapeutic and give you a sense of closure. Before making any choice, check in with yourself. How do you feel about each option? Take a moment to journal about it or even talk to someone close to you. Sometimes our first instinct is to get rid of anything that reminds us of our ex, but as time passes, we may find ourselves wishing we had kept something, even just as a memory. Reflect on what feels right for you. Another thing to think about is the legal aspect. In some divorces, the ring might have a high monetary value, so it might need to be addressed during the proceedings. If you're unsure, consult with your lawyer, as they can guide you through any legal questions. This can help you avoid any complications down the line. If you have kids, consider their perspective too. They may not care about the ring now, but in the future, they might appreciate having a piece of family history. Having that option to pass it down could be meaningful, especially if it helps them understand their roots. At the same time, you know your kids best, so do what feels right to your family. Now, at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong answer. It's about what brings you peace. Listen to your gut. Trust your instincts, and remember that this decision is a part of moving forward. Sometimes that means letting go, and sometimes it means holding on in a new way. So here are some comments that was left on my post. One guy says, pawned it, bought kayaks. Another says, lost it. Lived in my drawer for a while, but eventually just threw it in the trash. Threw it in the ocean while I was on my honeymoon after getting remarried. Pawned it, bought a 12-pack of beer and a carton of smokes. Pawned it for $25, went and bought 2 packs of smokes at the liquor store next door, and then 2 beers at the bar next to that. Came out ahead, I feel. Another pawned it and bought myself a nice dinner. Threw it in the lake. Here's a different one. I have mine on my keychain in my pocket. I like the feel of it, and it still means something to me even though it never meant anything to her. Trust me, I'm not hung up on our marriage or anything, but I'm true to myself. This guy says, went back to where we met, dug a hole, buried it, said a few choice words, and closed that book. Life's been great since. Kept it in case my son wants it when he's older. This guy says, toss it in the trash. Attached to my key ring for constant reminder. Here's one that says, threw it in a fire. There's another one, pawned it. Another one, threw it in the trash can at a city pool. Sold it and watched them melt it down. There's tons of responses here, but a lot of them seem to be the same. They don't keep them. There are several paths you can take with your wedding ring after a divorce. You can keep it, pass it down, sell it or repurpose it, donate it, or create a ritual to say goodbye. Each of these options has meaning, and each of them can help you move forward in your own way. Whatever you decide, remember that this is your journey. Moving forward after divorce takes time, and there's no rush to figure it all out. You deserve to make this choice in a way that feels true to you. I'd love to hear more comments from you about this. What did you do with your ring after divorce? Or if you're still deciding, what are your thoughts? Share your experiences and let's keep this conversation going. You can find me online on all social media at Dadlife Pod. It's a decision that impacts all of us in some way, and hearing each other's stories can be a big help. Thank you for tuning into this week's edition of the Dadlife Podcast. We'll see you next time.